Well, I'm a sad panda. When I went to bed, I had started a 30-ish hour print of the articulated Crystal Dragon. It was about 9 hours in when I went to bed. I knew that was like the fingers crossed moment. It was going to have to go all day today to finish. Overnight prints are always scary, but when you've got a 30, 40, 50-hour print, you don't have a choice. I've done dozens of them in the past, and they went fine. But I haven't printed anything in 2.5 years on my 3D printers, and I haven't done a print longer than 10 hours in the last 2 weeks since I started printing back again. So this was the first real test. Tried to do what I could to account for it, but unfortunately still got dinged with something. So got up this morning and it looks beautiful. It just stopped. No errors, nothing. It just stopped. So I dug into some of the stuff, trying to figure out. So the way my setup is, I actually have Octoprint connected to the Prusa 3. This is kind of what gets me, because if I was using just the 3 and it had a power fault or anything like that, it would just self-resume, or it would wait and ask me to prompt to resume, but it would be resumable. Unfortunately, I use an Octopi or an Octoprint because it's just better for me for a variety of reasons I won't get into. I choose to, I do. I've been a user of Octoprint since like it came out. I'm a financial contributor to them, and I'm heavily reliant on them for all my printers. I love it. Anyways, so yeah, it was dead. Octoprint showed everything was fine. I actually went into the logs, and this is what's interesting. So at 7:16 a.m., like 45 minutes before I woke up to check on it, Octoprint received a start command from the printer, meaning there was an external reset. And then Octoprint, because it got the printer start command and an M110 of line 0, it just restarted. But when Octoprint got the restart instructions, it knew that was bad, and it just canceled the print as a failed print. So good on Octoprint for handling that. Not in an outcome that I want, but in an outcome that it would be considered graceful programmatically. However, why that happened is a mystery. So what's interesting is that happened at, it says here 7:16. Between 7:15 and 7:20, half of Las Vegas lost power last night. So I found that out right after I woke up. So my first thought was, oh, the power outage must have hit me. Here's the thing though. I use a UPS for this reason. When I lived in Los Angeles, we had blips all the time. Power wouldn't go up. We'd have a blip. And 3D printers don't like blips. That was the quickest way to kill something. Before I had the Mark III with itself resume, blips were horrific. So I got lots of UPSs for all my printers, and that protected me against blips. Now that UPS I haven't used in 2 or 3 years, but I tested it, and it passed its tests fine, more or less. It's not going to run for more than 20 minutes on the printer at most, but the important part is it'll survive a blip. And the printer's on the UPS. The Octopi, or Octoprint, Octopi is the OS, the Octoprint is not, because the Octoprint should be plugged into the desk, which puts it on the UPS. However, I have a paver stone blocking the hatch, and I was lazy when I set the new Pi 4 to replace the Pi 3 yesterday. So I temporarily routed it down here. Here's the thing, the Octoprint never lost power. If the Octoprint never lost power, then that means this strip, because the print's on the standard surge protector, not on the UPS plugs, the strip never lost power. If this didn't lose power, my house didn't lose power. So then I went through my very extensive home lab networking settings and servers and UPSs, and none of them lost power. None of my appliances are blinking. I wasn't hit by the power outage. So what happened? Like, seriously, what happened? I don't know. I don't know. Best I can guess is there was some kind of well, no, there couldn't have been a blip. If there was any kind of blip related to the outage, other stuff in my house, even if it was enough to upset the printer through the UPS, it would have been enough to cause a problem in my house. There couldn't have been a blip. The only thing I can think of is this TP-Link smart plug I use. So I have a smart plug here connected to Octopi that allows me to turn the power off and on. I did some Googling this morning, and apparently people who use these exact ones, Casas or TP-Links or anything in that product line, sometimes get a blip. They sometimes get a printer restart command. The printer blips and loses power, but it never actually turns off. Here's the weird thing. I went through that smart plug's logs in my mobile app. It never powered cycled. It thinks it's been on this day, the 25th. It thinks it's been on for 9 hours and what time is it? 9:34. It thinks it's been on for 9 hours and 34 minutes. It thinks it never lost power today. which means that might not be it, or whatever little blip affects them is so minor it doesn't show up in the firmware logs in the tracking app, and it thinks it's been on the whole time. So I'm going to take it out of the equation and try again, I guess. I want to use, I'm debating if I want to use more of my Prusa Galaxy Black. I've got plenty of it. I've got like 800 grams left, and this print only uses 150. I can do that again. Or I'm thinking about maybe using this magenta I have just because I got so much of it. May as well get rid of some of it and put it to use. I'm a little torn. I don't have any of the really pretty color changing filaments that people print these dragons in. I'm going to order some, but I haven't been printing in years, and I'm low on cool filaments. So I don't know, but we're just going to try it again, I guess, and start a new one and let it go again until tomorrow. I think this Galaxy Black looks amazing. It was going to look pretty cool. So I think I'll print more of it in that. So, well, gonna remove the smart plug and start it over, I guess. Wish me luck.